made enough money that the hunger was gone. That's what you said. That's the absolute quote that you made. So it's not a case of me and making it up to get a rise out of you. That's what you said.
When I watched the fight, I was loving it. What Saudis are doing is unbelievable.
Would you apologise to Anthony Joshua if he does it then?
What, for having an opinion?
Well, but your opinion at the moment is non-existent because you're not giving one.
But I got 50 fights in my head and I have to get to 50.
Will you retire after that?
Yes, I will.
Welcome to episode 86 of Talk Boxing with Simon Jordan and Spencer Oliver. Today we are joined by Derek Chisora. Derek.
Hello there.
Nice to see you.
How are you?
Where's my money?
Why he's on that one?
Where's my bet? Where's my money?
For what bet?
What do you mean?
What bet?
See, how convenient.
How convenient. Money still from...
When it comes to his show fee, he won't forget that.
No,
when it comes to paying his bets, it's a terrible trait.
Was Amir Khan when he knocks out Slater?
You got paid on the weekends, so be quiet. You know.
I think mine was, I can't remember what it's for, but it was a bet for 100 quid. It was Fury. It was Fury versus Dillian Whyte. You made some ridiculous claim about what was going to happen in that fight, and you still haven't paid it.
Could you ever
even after you managed to extract enormous fees out from me from my upfront podcast and coming here and getting paid a fortune, you still haven't paid.
Because you don't remind me. If you want your money, you have to follow up your debts. If you want to get paid, you have to follow up. It's like sending an invoice. If you don't get paid, you send another one.
Anyway, by the time you've paid it, we've probably devalued the currency. Listen, you've come in on the back of a really significant victory against Joyce. A victory that surprised me, not because I want to diminish you in any shape or form, but because I felt it might be something that was beyond your reach. Do you think with the challenge of Joyce, first of all, do you think he's ended his career?
No, I don't think so. I personally believe he can still fight back. He's still got it. He only lost a fight against me and against.
Well, he's on the back of 3 now, losses, isn't he?
Yeah, but it's not big. It's not that big, mate. I got 13 losses, mate. Who cares?
Yeah, but do you feel that there's been a deterioration, though? Like when you look at Joe, and do you feel that the Zhang Zhang losses may have had more of an effect? Sometimes that happens, though. We saw that against Audley Harrison when he got knocked out against Michael Sprott. Never seemed to be the same fighter after that. And the 2 knockouts against Zhang Zhang, I think. You look at that, you see his performance levels have maybe dropped a bit. Because I got strong belief of that. You have to hang out with killers to be a killer in the gym. To understand, because Joe's whole team, they're very nice. You understand? They're only there.
Well, you made that point, didn't you? And when I saw the face-offs and you were standing on top of that building, you made a point to him and said, "This isn't for you, son."
Yes.
Something along those lines.
Yeah, because yes, I'm a family man, but beyond that family man, I hang out with my trainers. They like fighting. They like combat sport. Do you understand? So his fitness trainer to his coach to his mentor, they're not in that bubble of fighting story. Wow, I'm trying to find the right word for it. Like
the surroundings are too comfortable,
too
nice.
Comfortable. They're just yes, Joe. For me, it's not. For me, it's like my numbers are low, mate. What are you doing? If you don't give me the numbers I want, you're going to do the same session again and again and again.
Were you surprised? Did the fight go the way that you anticipated it would? Did he bring what you thought he was going to bring, or did he bring less than you thought he was going to bring?
I'll tell you this, yeah. If you want to, I'll tell you the truth. Joe was a harder fight for me, yeah. We were sparring, and one day I came in the gym to start sparring, and I was not really feeling it, and I lost all rounds. Because we scored rounds in I lost all rounds, and my trainer goes, "Oh, that was not great." They're going mad, and then he said to me, "I want you to box in the red zone. I don't want you to recover. I just want you to get tired." And then we came back, we did the same thing. Great sparring, came back and did the same thing, great sparring. And then when we're warming up, he goes to me, "I just want you to go." He goes, "I just want you to go. Do not think about warming up in the round 1, round 2, and proceed. Just go." So walked in the ring. Round 1, I went, as you saw. I came back, I was not there. I was not, physically I was there, but mentally I was not. I was just throwing lead.
Why do you think that was?
Because I realized I fight much better when my heart rate is more upper, when it's up in 160s, 170. I fight much better when I'm like that.
You're like a slow starter, you need to get going.
No, I don't want to.
Do you warm up? So your routine is you warm up, you do a lot of pad work in the dressing room before going out, and that's how you get going.
I warm up so madly in the dressing room. They'll bring my heart rate up and then bring it down and bring it up when I'm about to walk out.
Right, I've got an understanding of what you were doing, but the question I actually asked you was about Joe Joyce and what you expected from him, because he makes the case a moment ago about the diminishing of Joe Joyce. Now, I don't want to take anything away from you beating him and the damage that Zhilei Zhang did to him and the consequences of that particular set of fights. Was he what you... My question to you, Derek, was he what you expected of him? Was he at the level you thought he was going to be, or was he less?
He was exactly what I expected him. He was...
Which was what?
It was more high. His level was much better than Zhang.
Than when he fought Zhang?
Yeah.
Right.
He actually came to win.
Yeah.
Yeah. But remember, you have to understand, southpaws are hard to deal with, fellas. Let's be honest here. Yeah. It's like, if you lose it to a southpaw, it's the hard to I don't know, one promoter said, actually it was, what was Lennox Lewis's old trainer called?
Emmanuel Stewart. Yeah.
He's always said to Lennox Lewis, stay away from southpaws.
Yeah.
Some fighters can't deal with southpaws, and it's like you find it with boxers as well. There's always that one guy that's the bogeyman, and it doesn't matter that you've beaten so and so or whatever. There's this one guy stylistically you struggle with. You think that Zhilei Zhang was Joe Joyce's, basically?
Yeah, mate, it's just madness. Southpaws are hard to fight. I don't care what you say. You know, so we can't judge him by him losing twice to a southpaw. Do you understand?
You've been on this run of fights, which when you read it off as a roll call of fights that you've had, it's quite remarkable. On paper, these fighters that you fought Joyce, you fought Gerard Washington, you fought Tyson Fury, Kubrat Pulev, Joe Parker, David Price and Dillian Whyte. All of these are, you know, with the exception of perhaps David Bryce at that time, are high-ranking fighters that are doing significant things. The question that always abounds about you, and it constantly comes forward, and you've heard me ask it before in other formats, and people ask it of you all the time. This level of fights that you're having at this stage in your career, at this age that you're at, with these kind of battles that you go into, because there's no coincidence that you walk around with war on the front of your moniker because you go into wars all the time. What do you make of this constant sort of questioning of how much longer do you think you should go on? Is it worth the health risk that you're putting yourself in the way of? Is it worth the opportunities that you're getting, perhaps economically, against the balance that you're going to perhaps lose cognitively if it goes the wrong way?
Yeah, if it goes the wrong way, it goes the wrong way. You know, you can come out
but you've got kids, Derek. You think?
Yeah, but let's all be honest here. You got. I box for a living.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my bread and butter.
Yeah.
And I love it. The day I don't enjoy it, I walk away.
But I
enjoy it.
I think what Simon's saying is when you get to 48 fights and he read the list there, there is a point where you go, does boxing retire you or do you retire from boxing? That's the question where people are saying, you know, that is, I mean, you must admit there is that.
Great, mate. It's a bigger list, bro.
I know it's. I know it's. You've been with all of them.
Yeah, I've been all of them. There's a couple left anyway.
Why do you think there is this fascination? Because I don't hear people turn around and say that Marius Wack shouldn't go in the ring and get punched out by Moses Satuma. I don't hear other fighters that are at certain age brackets being told that potentially that they're worried for them. Is it because of the kind of fights you get into, or is it because people think you're a national treasure, which I would mean bury you?
I don't know. What is a national treasure?
Someone that's valued.
Yeah, actually, Some
people have affection
I don't get
for.
I don't get parking tickets anymore.
And I've got to say, mate, the reception that you got after that victory against Joe Joyce, when there was a couple of times in that fight where you think, right, Joe's just starting to get on top, and you was finding that resilience to be able to keep coming back and finding something from somewhere. You do become a national treasure because people know what they're getting when they come to see you. That's why you put bums on seats.
Yeah. There's an honesty about you, isn't there?
Yeah, to be honest, I do not know. But I got 50 fights in my head, and I have to get to 50.
Will you retire after that?
Yes, I will.
100%?
100% I'm out.
Spencer, you've known Derek for a long time, and you've spoken to me about him on a number of occasions. And I know people that have known him for a long time as well. And I remember watching him years ago. He was going to come to Marbella and train, and he might well have done. And it was leading up to the Klitschko fight. I thought when I first saw him, no, I'm not having him. I don't know what he's all about, with his stupid bloody Union Jack mask and so on and so forth. But as I've got to know him, despite the fact he doesn't pay his bets, I have a lot of affection for him. But you've watched him and you've seen him over the years and you know him as a bloke. Are you surprised or not that he's become this sort of household name and recognisable fighter in the way that he has?
I'm not surprised, no, because I know Derek on a personal level. Known him since he was 16 years of age. Know what he.
Sorry about that, Derek.
Yeah, he's still not paid his debts, so you know,
We've
feel
made
sorry
that
for
point
me.
now. Let's leave him alone.
But anyway, yeah, know what he is, know what his makeup is, know what he's all about, but also know Derek Chisora the person. See, people that think they understand him and make judgment on Derek because of the character that he comes across and the perception. That's not Derek. Like when you get to know him as he's a good, warm-hearted family man. That is what he is. When you ask about where he's at in his career, he's got bundles of money now. He's earned a lot of money, and I would like to see him retire from the sport. And I've not made that a secret to Derek. I say to him, listen, mate, you're, like, first and foremost, I care about you, and I'd love to see you come out of it and in a good spot. But every fight he has is a tough one, and there is a point when you look at it and go, "Come on now, we're done." I think I texted you, didn't I? After you boxed Parker, I think it was, and it was like, mate, what a great career. I think this is the time to go out. That was an unbelievable fight, unbelievable performance. That was, how long ago was that?
Yeah, but you don't understand on Parker. I never explained to people on Parker exactly what happened.
Yeah, I didn't know, because that's what I said to you.
And I'll tell you now exactly. So on Joseph Parker, I finished sparring everything. I was living in Sheffield, so I drive back to London. I get to London, I'm so tired, I'm drained out. So I thought, it's the sparring, so I go to sleep. I wake up, Corona's off. I phoned Eddie, I'm like, Eddie, I got Corona, I might have to pull out this fight. And he goes, oh, let me know how you feel afterwards.
You mean COVID, yeah?
COVID, yeah. So I'm like, okay, I'm in my house sleeping. And I'm like, I need to go outside. So I drag myself outside. And it's raining. Blunder mistake I ever did. I'm wearing flip-flops. I slipped. I broke my hand.
Right.
This baby finger. I put it back together, great, whatever.
For which one, Parker 1 or Parker 2?
Parker, the last one.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm still recovering from Corona. I go back after like 7 days. I'm hitting the pads. I will chuck 3 punches and I have to sit down. Dave Caldwell goes, mate, you are doomed. I'm like, yeah, I know, but I'll be fine. Do the same thing. I'm like, I have to go back to London. So I phoned one of my friends in Victoria. He owns a Russian sauna. I go, man, he goes, come, I know what to do with you. So I spent 7 days there in the sauna, cold and sauna, and I was fine. And then after that, I phoned Eddie, I think I can fight this fight. Let's carry on with the show.
So your disadvantage is what you're saying?
Yeah.
All right.
But
it is what it is.
It is what it is. Did you enjoy the fight?
That's what you said to me after I asked you. I said to you, you should retire now, come out on a high. That was exactly what you said to me. The response from Derek was, did you enjoy the fight? I said, I loved the fight. It was great. It was entertaining. Well, there you go then.
Well, I think
that's the argument. You say...
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt. I mean, we've had our cross swords about me having a debate about what level Derek fights at and stepping up to world level and not winning at it. But I think when you go to see a Derek Chisora fight, you go see a fight. And you get honesty, you get integrity, you get all the show that goes with it, all the spectacle, and you go and watch a fight where someone's going to actually leave it all in the ring and win, lose or draw. They're going to give you some entertainment, and that is in part what boxing's about. Dillian Whyte has called you out for a trilogy fight. Where are you on a fight like that, and where are you with Dillian in terms of some of the things that have gone on in his career, i.e. recently finding himself the other side of an adverse drug finding?
Can I be honest with you? I phoned Eddie yesterday. He goes, yes, I'll be interested in that fight, yeah? And I know Frank Warren will be as well, as Queensbury. But there's a big problem.
Go on.
The biggest problem is Dillian is got an American license.
Right.
And we cannot, the British Border Control could not entertain him in the United Kingdom, even in Saudi Arabia, because the British Border Control controls Saudi Arabia now.
Wasn't
So couldn't he box here on his American licence, though?
Pardon?
Didn't Fury have that challenge? Didn't Fury have an American licence and fought on that?
I would not fight him if he has got American license because you have to understand this. You're about to walk in the ring and you're getting paid
XYZ.
XYZ, yeah? You're getting a rematch with the guy you hate the most, who's at the top of the game.
Yeah.
That's, you know, you're sold out Wembley, everything is going off, yeah? And then suddenly, you fail a drug test.
Yeah.
Not for the first time, not for the second time. Do you understand? So, and then the last time he failed a drug test, Eddie was on his side. Eddie let him box versus what's his
Oscar
name?
Rivas.
Oscar Rivas.
Yeah.
He failed a drug test. Why isn't they say he failed a drug test?
Yeah.
Eddie hadn't come off the stage whispering and people because, you know, the show will go on. And they beat Oscar Rivas. Why it wasn't...
What's your wish list for the last 2 fights, if that's where it ends after 50? How would you like that? Come on, give us it.
What's that? You think you're that guy from the... What's the Irish guy with the little guy, who wears the green outfit and gives everybody gold? What's his name?
A leprechaun.
A leprechaun, that's what you think.
Why are you getting personal? Why are you doing that? I'm asking you a sensible question.
But most people like leprechauns.
I like. That's
And why are you getting involved in that?
Basically,
You normally find a pot of gold.
I'm not going to tell you anyway, but...
Don't keep the end to yourself. Keep the end to
go.
yourself. And come on, who's the wish list?
I can't tell you.
No, but I mean, your dream fights. Not saying that they're going to happen, but who would you like?
They are going to happen, but there's ways I have to sell them to happen.
When do we are we going to see one this year, one next year? That's
We're
it.
going to see one this year, and you see a big one sending off one next year.
Given the amount of people that you've fought, and you've fought them all, haven't you? With the exception of AJ.
Yeah.
I mean, who have you shared a ring with that you've really come away with animosity towards, that you really haven't liked, and gone away with little respect and a great deal of disregard for?
None.
None. You like them all, do you?
I love all of them.
Really?
Yeah.
Don't lie. Don't sit on the fence.
No, I'll be honest with you. I like all of them because if I didn't like all of them, you would know about it.
I think it's
Do you think that's true? Why are you being a diplomat?
I'm being very honest with you.
I'm going to tell you where you're at with that.
being a fighter, right?
Because you get this bond with a fighter. It's a moment that only you two have shared, and it's that ultimate gladiatorial thing. So you do gain a respect that maybe is what Derek's trying to say with the fighters that he shared the ring with. You gain that respect because of what they do.
All right. If you're not going to answer that question, who's the best that you've shared a ring with?
Usyk.
Usyk.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're the one that people think got closest.
Yeah, because I was not boxing. I was just
Fighting.
Mauling him.
Fighting, yeah.
Yeah. That's the way to beat him, right?
Yeah. You can't box that guy. He's an animal.
But you've shared the ring with AJ, Fury, sparring with AJ, Fury, Usyk. You've been in with everyone, and you put him what? You didn't think about that too much. You was like pretty much Usyk done.
With who?
I know I'm saying as in the best that you've ever been in the ring with. You say like you didn't have, but there was not much fault there, and you shared a ring with a lot of the top fighters, all the top fighters.
I have shared a lot of ring with the top fighters, but
there was no doubt in Usyk.
Yeah, there's no doubt in Usyk.
Why? What was about him that made him the best?
Because he moves. Because the way he gets you going,
Yeah.
his movement, is there, and it's something every time you have to adjust. Do you understand?
Yeah. But you showed a blueprint, didn't you? You showed people were unsure at that particular point because he'd just come into the heavyweight division. He'd fought Witherspoon, hadn't he?
Witherspoon, yeah.
And then he fought you, and you'd shown a way to fight Usyk, which Anthony Joshua didn't replicate. So it's interesting that you pick him. I want to move on, Derek, to Saudi. This is the hot topic, the nature of the Saudi effect, the phenomenon that is the Saudi effect, and all the changes that are going with it. What was when you became aware that this was likely to be a project that was going to get new legs? People have fought in the Middle East before, and there's been opportunities. But when you first saw the opportunity with the Saudis, what was your first sort of reaction to it? What was your thought process? Did you think, hello,
when are we talking about the first beginning of Saudi Arabia or doing boxing?
I think probably a bit of both. I think looking at the Saudi landscape, first off, and thinking this could be a boxing powerhouse, and then seeing the arrival of this fella, Turki Al-Sheikh, which we'll talk about in a minute.
But you was in the Saudis before there was a
Okay, I'll tell you, because I remember this when AJ's fight was announced with Andy Ruiz's rematch in Saudi. We're doing an interview with Sky on the farm, and I was like, why are we going to Saudi? We don't need that. And everything and buying. I was getting nuts, yeah. And then afterwards, I decided to look after my animals, and I said, you know what, I'm being a hypocrite. I need to go to Saudi myself. So I saw my visa out, my plane ticket, went to Saudi by myself. Didn't have a ticket, got there, met some of my friends, got tickets, went to watch the fight. So I was loving it. I was like, wow, this is unbelievable, it's great. And then from then I became friends with one of the biggest promoters there, and then he lost his job to take Al Sheikh.
Okay.
Yeah, but what Saudis are doing is unbelievable. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's hard to explain because I go there and I enjoy Saudi. And you guys need to those who don't know Saudi, get a visa and just go, because you understand. It's a country where there's so much money there.
I know.
Yeah, but it's different from Dubai now.
Yeah, I noticed.
Yeah, because everybody in Dubai is driving a Ferrari or this or this, but they're so humble, so easy going, bro.
Qatar's a bit like that as well.
Yeah.
Qatar has that attitude, and and I watched a documentary the other day, going off piste, about MBS, about Mohammed bin Salman and his ascension to being the crown prince. And one of the key cornerstones of what he wants to do with Saudi Arabia is use sport as a massive gateway to the youngsters of Saudi. 63% of Saudi Arabians are below 30. Yeah,
they are.
So sport and entertainment and movies and all that sort of stuff are a big part of a cultural shift.
100%.
A big part of a cultural shift for him to be able to maintain the next opportunity, because they won't have oil forever. They want the next opportunity, which is tourism, economic power, and all that goes with it. What do you think of his plans? Turn your bloody phone off. He talked to me about, when he came on the radio the other day with myself and Jim, and he talked about cleaning up the system. Now, you and I have had conversations about what should happen to people that dope and get caught, and you have quite strong views on it, right? You think that they should be in real trouble.
I think 10-year ban.
Right. So what do you think he means? When he's talking about cleaning up the system, what do you think he means, and what do you think he can do? Can he do anything, or is it just playing to the gallery because people want to hear that sort of stuff?
I always say this, if you're the paymaster, you can do anything.
He was talking about more stringent drug testing. That's what he was talking about. Like, when he's saying clearing up the system, he's saying the drug testing that are in place at the moment are not good enough, and there's a better formula that he would like to introduce to make sure that drug cheats. Because I'm one of those that thinks that fail a drug test, banned. Just get them out, because it's not good. Because boxers they get in the ring. You saw Derek's fight with Joyce. They get in the ring and they leave it all in there, and you go, there's consequences for that. So we don't need drug cheats within the sport. And I think what Turkey Al Sheikh was talking about was a more stringent testing system to keep these people away from the sport, which is, I think that's a brilliant thing.
Mate,
someone's got to fund that, by the way.
No, not even fund.
Yeah, but I think that's what he's talking about by changing the system.
But let me explain something to you. If the IBF, WBC, all these guys come out saying, okay, if you get caught with certain things in your blood now, if it's a cheat, it's 10-year ban. Let me explain something to you. Everybody will clean themselves up. Yeah. Nobody will go and train in Timbuktu or an.
10 years effectively is your career over, right?
Trust me, you will clean up. Yeah. That's it. Well,
we'll see if he carries it through. Now, obviously, coming up on September 21st is a huge heavyweight fight. You and I spoke again about 7 months ago when we did our upfront stuff about Joshua. And I put it to you where you thought Joshua was. And you said to me, I don't know if he wants it enough anymore. He's got a lot of money, he's made a lot of money, I'm not sure. And I'm paraphrasing, but it's pretty much kind of what we discussed about the fire going out. Where are you now on this fight with Joshua versus Dubois?
Hold on. I didn't say that, did I?
You did.
Say I don't think he wants it anymore.
You felt that...
No. Do you think I say that?
I felt that you felt that he wasn't as hungry as he once was, and that some of it might be...
When did I say that, Simon?
When we did the Upfront podcast in November. You weren't as specific as people like Carl Froch and Barry McGuigan and other people that said lights have gone out. No, you did, mate.
Yeah.
No, you did.
Look at this schmuck.
do you want the actual quote? Made enough money that the hunger was gone. That's what you said. That's the absolute quote that you made. So it's not a case of me making it up to get a rise out of you. That's what you said.
Okay.
So what I'm saying is now, given that you thought that potentially maybe some of the hunger was gone, which is a fair observation at the time, right? Where are you now with Anthony Joshua, given the fact he's gone back in and fought Franklin, he's fought Helenius, he's fought Wallin, and he's disposed of Ngannou like Fury should have done the first time round. Where are you now with Joshua?
In the sense of like...
Where he's at performance-wise, hunger-wise.
Do you think he's back now? Do you think he's fully rehabilitated?
I think he's back now.
Right.
For the simple reason, because the last time we had this conversation was he was training in Dallas. You remember? Yeah, he was training in Dallas.
Right.
And now he's gelled with somebody which they speak the same language. And the language is they will sit down and video when he's doing pads, and they will sit there and say, what are you doing that for? What are you doing that for?
Listen, me and you know Joshua better than most because we've been in and around him for a long, long time since he started his boxing career.
Not you.
I've guided him and helped him. You've just been there. But anyway, right. So we know him better than most, and Joshua is one of those guys that he's like a sponge, isn't he? He takes in a lot of advice, soaks it all up, and he needs someone that's meticulous in what they do. Ben Davison does that. He leaves no. And for Anthony Joshua, psychologically, that's why he's in such a great place right now. Because of that, because Josh don't like anything left unturned.
Yeah.
What I mean, you have a good relationship with Anthony Joshua.
I got a really good relationship with everybody.
Okay, well, for the purpose of this conversation, you have a good relationship with Anthony Joshua. Right? What have you seen in him in the last 12 months? What changes have you seen in him as a fighter? Ignore the November conversation that you and I had, and just look at the overall 12 months in terms of what he's done and what changes he's made that may be a signalling of a new opportunity for Anthony Joshua.
I think the changes he's made is that Ben Davison, yeah. The people around him now, yeah. He's still the same people around him, but he's understanding. They're listening to him as well.
They've gelled now. And that's important.
Yeah, do you understand?
Are you seeing a difference in him? Is he changed the way that he's operating? Has his intensity gone up a level? Has his awareness of some of the challenges that he might have had?
Put it this way, let me explain something to you. He was not knocking out his sparring partners. Now he's knocking them out.
Right, and why is that?
Ben Davison.
Solely Ben Davison.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on Anthony Joshua over the last 12 months, as in with the changes that he's made and where he's sat right now in his boxing career, like on his last couple of performances? For what
my opinion is worth in comparison with your two opinions.
No, but I'm just curious to know where you think he's sat right now.
I don't think it's ever been an issue with Anthony Joshua physically. I never felt that Anthony Joshua wasn't physically capable of knocking people out. I thought he was mentally concerned about what was happening to him. So when I see him fight Franklin, and when I saw him fight Helenius, and when I saw him fight Wallin, I felt to myself, these are decent fights, but none of these fighters have really stuck it on him. And none have really taken him into the red zone, which my question is, when Anthony Joshua gets put into that red zone, and a question gets really asked of him, will he have the deep-seated belief or the desire to do what he did against Klitschko, which is pick himself off the floor, and to do other things that he's had to do to win fights?
I think that you felt that he had become gun shy, and he wouldn't get that back. But I think that now he's proved a lot of doubters wrong, because in his performances you can see actually he's letting those comments. I mean, look, we had that conversation maybe 12 months ago. He said he'll never be a three-time world heavyweight champion.
That's true.
And now I think
no, absolutely, that's true. And I thought at the time that he does let his hands go now, but the opposition that he's faced. And I don't want to diminish anything he's done, because I was so pleased he did to Ngannou what he should have done to Ngannou, because I thought that was a stain on the boxing world that Tyson Fury made such a 4-act play out of Ngannou, because one sport is one discipline is one, and another is another. And Ngannou shouldn't have got anywhere near Tyson Fury, but he did. So I was pleased with Anthony that he did that. My question is not now that he's prepared to let his hands go, is what happens when he gets taken into a dark place. Now, Eddie doesn't understand the observation I made about PTSD, which was, I understand if a heavyweight hits another heavyweight on the chin, there's a possibility whoever they are in the world, they're going to go. Right? That's not the point I've made. My point is that if you get hit and you've not been knocked down or knocked out, but you've still been taken into a place that reminds you of what's happened to you before, does Anthony have the mental resolve to overcome the adversity that might be coming his way with Daniel Dubois? Do you think he does?
Yes.
You do?
Mate, the fight with Daniel Dubois, everybody thinks it's going to be a walk in the park. I don't think so, because Daniel's trained.
Yeah.
And then Adrian knows that. And then It's going to be a good fight.
Listen, you've been in the ring with both of them. You shared the ring with both of them. So you would understand strengths and weaknesses. You're saying there it will be a good fight. Let me ask you a question. Does Daniel Dubois have what it takes to knock Anthony Joshua out going into this fight? Do you think that, what I'm saying is, a lot of people see it as a very one-sided fight. Anyone that's in the industry understands that Daniel has a great chance. No.
Fight.
Do you not?
No, I don't.
No, I don't either.
Do you see this? Do you see this fight going beyond 6 rounds?
I think it ends in 6.
Do you?
Yeah.
And so I'm assuming that you think Anthony Joshua is going to stop him inside 6 rounds.
He has to.
He has to.
He has to.
Why does he have to?
Because Daniel's easy to hit.
To hit.
Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah.
What kind of 12 months do you think Daniel's had? Because we saw Daniel fight Usyk.
Yeah.
And he made a decent fist of that fight. And if you listen to Frank Warren, then you would believe that. Did you think it was a low blow, by the way, against Usyk?
Listen, if Daniel hit Usyk, we're right here.
Yeah.
Without the rubber band.
It's not a low blow.
What? That shot.
That shot was not a low blow.
It was a low blow.
It was on the belt line. It was up here.
You thought it was a low blow, Jim?
It was a low blow.
Yeah. Have you seen any material changes in Dubois? Because
I haven't been to the gym because I said I was
No,
there.
but you've watched him fight. So you've seen him fight Gerald Miller, which is a fight that I thought.
Yeah, I was there.
It's a fight he should have won, right?
It's a Gerald Miller. Yes, I was there.
Hrgović.
I think with Hrgović is that Hrgović took his eye off the ball because he sparred Daniel so many times and he thought he was sparring the same guy.
Well, he gave him a lecture, didn't he, about being a schoolmaster?
Yeah.
I'm going to take you to school.
Yeah. And then, even if you hear his corner come back say, Hrgović used to double jab and check the right hand, you're not doing what we practice because his ego went in the way. And then after that, Daniel kept on hitting him. He's got a massive cut, and then Daniel won the belt.
I think when you underestimate a fighter going in, and Fury's guilty of that with Ngannou as well, going into that performance, and things start not going your way, so make those adjustments in a fight when they start going your way because you took your eye off the ball and underestimated the fight. It's very difficult to make those adjustments and get back because of this attitude that you've had.
Well, look, I mean, Eddie Hearn was in the studio the other day, and he spoke about Daniel Dubois. Let's have a listen to what he had to say.
And I think the way that Dubois has lost in the past, and I don't like to say it because I think all of these guys are incredibly brave, he quit. He quit against Joyce and he quit against Usyk, right? But he never got hurt. You know, like if you look at the knockout against Usyk, it was, you know, he went down, it was a stiff jab, he took a knee and didn't really fancy getting up.
Do you think, Derek, that Dubois quit in those fights?
Yes.
You do?
Yeah.
There's this mantra, isn't there? And I don't know who said it, which is if you quit once, you'll quit again.
You can't say that Daniel Dubois quit against Joe Joyce when he broke an eye socket. That's not quitting.
Please,
that's being sensible, man.
An eye socket, I still fought.
Yeah, but that's being sensible. It's not quitting. I think that.
Please, that's quitting, bro. Let the ref stop it. The ref will come to you. Do you want to carry on?
But
and you got
ref. At what cost, though? That's your career. At what cost? He probably effectively saved his career then.
No, but
what I'm saying is,
it don't matter. It's quick.
I mean, there's a lot of meaning. But there is an element of what Derek's saying, which is right, which is he took an educated decision. You're giving it the
no, but there's an element of what I'm saying is correct.
No, absolutely. I'm saying there's an element of what both of you are saying is right. Do you think he quit against Usyk? Because I think that's the more likely that he quit.
Yes, because I was there.
Yeah,
I was sitting next to Frank Warren.
You were there, Spence, were you?
I was there, yeah. He blew a gasket. He had nothing left.
Yeah.
Right.
He had nothing left.
Because I remember what Usyk went, boom, boom.
He decided to go out on one knee, whereas a man to my left would decide to go out, still trying to fight, taking shots with nothing left. And so I understand what he's saying there. With that,
then you do think he quit then?
That's what I said. I understand what he's saying with the second one. I'm talking about the Joe Joyce fight. I don't think he quit.
We covered that, yeah.
Yeah,
but we're now debating whether he quit against Usyk.
Yeah, there is a debate there for that.
Right. So does that mean that Daniel Dubois, much to Don Charles's chagrin, if he hears this, I suspect, lacks heart?
Here's a question for you. In Joe Joyce, you saying he didn't quit. Mm-hmm. Yeah. He saved his career.
He had a broken eye socket. Yes. So when you On the surface of it, when you looked at that, you go,
So
everyone went, he's quit. He's just gone down, he's quit.
Usyk,
there's reasons for that.
And Usyk, and the
down.
same thing, Usyk hit him in the same eye.
Yeah.
You know that.
Yeah.
And then what did he do?
Go on.
What did he do? He quit again.
Right, so when he blew the gasket?
You know, Look, Joyce hit him on the same eye. Usyk hit him on the same eye.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what are you trying to say?
Do you think
so subconsciously he thought his eye socket was broken again.
So there's a psychological problem there.
Yeah.
But maybe, I mean, I get the point you're making, and I mean, Eddie Hearn questioned the validity of that when I said to him, he got a fractured orbital socket.
Yeah, but
Hearn said that he got any evidence of that, and then Frank Warren phoned me the next day later. Said, if you want some medical evidence, I'll send him.
Can I say something? Yeah. That was then. This is now.
Yeah.
Daniel's changed. You know, Don is actually gone.
From what to what?
Like, look at his last fight with Hrgovic.
Yep.
Hrgovic hit him straight right hand. He didn't drop, he didn't quit. He carried on going. Yeah. He won the fight. Yeah. Baby Miller, it was a scrap, but he got so tired, he was about to quit, but he did not quit. So what I'm trying to say to you, the guy who boxed Joyce and Oleksandr Usyk,
he's not that guy.
He's not that guy anymore. He's not that guy anymore.
Right.
So I suppose the argument is there's a question mark on it. So it's Daniel's still got it to prove. That's what we're saying. That's what you're saying. Like, as in, there's always going to be a question mark over did he quit, did he not quit, and that's a strong word, by the way, anyway. But did he quit, did he not quit? Now you go, he's still got to prove some of those doubters wrong.
Did he quit? He quit, yeah.
He thinks he quit. I mean, you can make a case.
No, he quit. But
Okay,
I don't think the guy we're looking at now is going to quit
animal.
in Wembley.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I mean, there is an argument that, Roberto Duran quit against Sugar Ray Leonard.
He did.
And he did quit, no mass.
Yeah.
And that was for a different reason, not because he was frightened of Sugar Ray Leonard or because he was damaged, because he was pissed off with the Mickey taking that was being done of him. We move on from Dubois, Joshua, onto December with two fighters that obviously you've been in the ring with and share, which is Usyk and Fury. What did you make of the first fight?
I was there. There's two things you have to understand. When Tyson fights, he fights for himself. When Usyk fights,
He fights for his country.
Fights for his country.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Yeah. Tyson, I don't think Tyson was 100% when he walked in that ring.
For what reason?
Well, mentally or physically?
I mean, because he had a massive cut. He didn't want to get fined 10 grand for missing, 10 million for missing the fight. So he didn't spar the way he wanted to spar.
You think underprepared, like for a fight of that magnitude?
Underprepared, yeah. Do you understand? Underprepared for that fight. You understand? And the confidence was not there. Because if you realise, he was mucking around for the first 4 or 5 rounds. Yeah, because the confidence was not there.
Do you think he can turn it around in a rematch?
I don't think so.
You think Usyk still wins?
I think Usyk stops him this time.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Do you think Fury is slowed at all? Because the big thing about Tyson was this ridiculous movement. Not the only thing, but part of it, given you've got a 6'7", 6'8" fighter that could move the way that he did. And then the argument started to rage that he met fighters in the middle of the ring because his ankles couldn't stand up to it or he wasn't physically able to do the things. Do you think there's anything in that?
Nah, I don't think him and, what's his coach's name? What's that guy's name?
Andy Lee?
No.
Virgil. Oh, Sugar Hill.
Yeah, I think that relationship is kind of dying down, because when he got together with Sugar Hill, they were listening to each other, and now it's not like
do you know a fighter gets to a stage of his career, and I think Floyd Mayweather was a great example of that. Like when you look at his early part of his career, he's manoeuvring around the perimeter of the ring. It's more about footwork than even handwork. But then when they've got to make that adjustments, that's when they're great fighters, when they can make those adjustments, hold their feet more, and he used the shoulder roll a lot more, and he was letting his shots go. But he changed stylistically. It's not worked for Fury as well because we saw the 3 Wilder fights where he changed and he started planting his feet and going forward. He had success there, but we haven't seen him box like he did against Klitschko in 2015 when he's moving around the ring and it was a masterclass. I'm not sure the legs can do that now, and that's a big problem.
When was that fight with Klitschko?
2015.
Yeah, we're talking about 10 years ago.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But
so what we're talking about is that they have to.
It's not his legs.
It's
called getting old, fellas. Let's get it right. Yeah. It's not the legs. It's called getting old.
But that's what I mean.
Yeah, but I mean, Usyk's the same age as him, if not older.
Yeah,
so we're talking about the same age bracket, and it's Usyk that's making him slow.
That's lifestyle, though, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's the question I was going to ask. Is it lifestyle? But also, what we saw in that first fight, Derek, I don't know what you made of it, was the lack of clarity that people suggest comes from having too many voices. We saw a lot of voices in that corner during that fight.
They were all in panic. It was not because loads of voices. They were all in panic. They were all panicking. They knew they were losing the fight, so they figured out they have to start saying something so you can hear something. Because you was not listening to Sugar Hill.
But do you think it's appropriate for his dad to be saying the things that he was saying? Surely, I mean, you as a fighter...
What did your dad say? Because I was there, I didn't hear.
Well, his father was telling him certain things, which seemed to be directly in contrast to what Sugar Hill might have been suggesting, and he seemed to be the dominant voice. So it seems surprising to me that given you've got a trainer, and your trainer's the one you build a relationship with, unless I'm wrong.
But Sugar Hill trains him for 2 weeks, his dad trains him for...
No, but the crazy thing in that fight was...
So you don't think he had too many voices?
No, I don't think so.
Well, he was being told he was ahead in the fight. Not at one point was he ever ahead in that fight.
Yeah, but it's a problem. Can I say something? When you're fighting, you're watching. You're not watching the other fighter. You're watching your fighter and see what he's doing.
Yeah, but when a fight's close, Derek, you know, right? If a fight's close, I'm doing your corner. I say, you need to get out there and win these last 2 rounds. Not you're ahead, mate, because that will make you mentally change. You'll think, right, I've just got to get through these. But if I go, get out there and do this, or it's fucking over, you're going to go out there and you're going to go for it. And that is a fact. You got to know how to G the fighter up and psych the fighter up. When you get into the last quarter of the fight and you go, you're ahead, Tyson's mentally thinking totally the way he shouldn't be thinking.
I was there. I for some reason, I thought he was ahead until the knockdown.
But would you have told him that in a close fight?
Were you surprised? I mean, besides Steve Cunningham, who dropped him a while ago, there's not anyone that's got Tyson Fury going like that. Were you surprised?
Well, Wilder.
Yeah, of course. Sorry, you're absolutely
Wilder
right.
had him over a couple of times.
But point taken. Yeah, so better point you made there. But notwithstanding, there's very few people that have got Fury going like this. And were you surprised that Usyk did to Tyson what he did to him? Because really and truly, the referee did him a favour. No,
Usyk is an operation, mate. When he's in the ring, bro, he is unbelievable. The way he moves, because he's moving and he's fit. So he's making you work when he's not working. You know, it was sooner or later Tyson was going to get caught up. And he got caught up with that. I think it was when he was going backwards, Usyk hit him right on the nose.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and then that just took everything away from him.
So you've said from the outset, on regards to Fury Usyk 2, you don't expect Fury to be able to win back his belts. You expect potentially Usyk to stop him. But if you're I can't help but believe that Fury will find a way to overcome Usyk, because I picked him for the first fight.
Yeah.
And maybe it's just because I want to stay with what I started with. And my evidence in front of my eyes is I'm not paying enough attention to. But if you are picking Fury, like me, what does he have to do? What is he going to have to do to be able to win that fight second time round, given the fact that he's now been beaten by this fella, and I think pretty comprehensively? What's going to be told to Fury? What is Fury going to tell himself, and what is he going to have to do to be able to beat Usyk?
I have to bring what's called the Royal Britannia out, isn't it? Because I remember the post he put out.
Yeah.
He put out a post while he was in the gym running, and he goes, I've worked hard to get all these belts, and he goes, you big dosser, AJ, you lost the belts. Now you have to get
lost to a middleweight.
You have to go get. I have to go get the Royal Britannia around and get the belts back. And then suddenly he lost the belts.
But did you not show the blueprint on how to beat Usyk? I mean, to be fair,
yes,
it was taking him out of his comfort zone by smothering him and using the height, the reach, everything that Fury's got. I know it's easier said than done because this guy is a magician in the ring. And the big problem Tyson Fury's got going into the rematch is that Usyk has an unbelievable boxing IQ, and he will adjust and make things even more difficult now he knows Fury. That's the big problem
Here's a
Fury's
question
got.
for you.
Plain and simple, Fury's just got to out-muscle him and outwork it, but it's easier said than done. But he's got to use all his attributes to his advantage.
Here's a question for you. Who do you think is going to be much better in the rematch?
Usyk.
Exactly. Why? Because he's said
because
he's watching that fight and watching.
Because his boxing brain is insane, and he will.
I want to explain.
He's great at making adjustments.
The way this guy trains, Usyk is unbelievable. You know, when he was fighting AJ was in Saudi, I was talking to his trainer Alex, and Alex goes, sometimes he gets on a bike and he will ride 100 kilometers and come back. I'm like,
Yeah, I've heard that. Yeah.
I'm like, even he will go in the Olympic swimming pool and he'll swim for 6 hours non-stop.
That's his mindset.
And that's
Like,
his
he's got
mindset,
that.
do you understand? Now, if that was you now, you'd be like, you know what? You do 3 laps, you're like, you know what?
He couldn't even get his 10-metre badge.
That's just maybe. But the point is, that's what an elite champion. I remember talking to a different sport, Derek, but Sebastian Coe talking to me about his competitivity with Steve Ovett and what they were prepared to do to try and win the 1980 Olympics, and how he would find out whether Ovett was running on Christmas Day, and if he went out 4 times, he'd find out whether he had to go out 5 times. That's the mindset of someone that is the greatest in their sport at this particular time and wants to continue to be the greatest. When we talk about these two fighters, I'm optimistic that Fury will beat Usyk, but maybe I'm being unrealistic. Maybe I'm living in the past and I've got delusions of grandeur about what Fury can and can't do anymore. In the event that Fury were to win this fight, given that Anthony hasn't fought him yet, but has fought Usyk, do you give either one of you, and you can get your head out of Anthony Joshua's arse now for the purpose of this conversation, Spencer, do you give Anthony Joshua an opportunity to beat either one of those? He's lost twice to Usyk, and he hasn't fought Fury. Where are you boys on this?
My conversation with you here is going to be meaningless because you think I've got my head up Anthony Joshua's arse. I'm talking realistically. Where Anthony Joshua is at right now, he could beat both of them guys that you're talking about, and I truly believe that. And that's not my heart speaking; it's my head.
Derek,
Hold on.
where you heard? What are you going all coy for? I've just posed the question for Anthony Joshua's PR team, headed by Spencer Oliver, that can you make a case for AJ to beat Usyk and/or to beat Fury? Now we've already seen him beaten by Usyk twice.
I'll tell you. You'll knock Fury out in 6 rounds.
AJ? Really?
Yeah, AJ. Yeah. You'll stop Usyk round 4. I'm telling you now.
Okay, put aside him for a second, right? Why? He's got done by Usyk twice.
Because now he's got the right dancing partner.
It's a different place now.
So you think you're basically saying?
Can I explain something to you?
Please.
That guy hasn't stopped watching the 2 tapes of him fighting Usyk because he wants that fight badly. He wants a rematch. He wants Usyk to win the fight with Tyson.
Yeah, but he watched the tapes of the first fight.
Yeah, but
he still got beat in the second.
But he wasn't in that, like, he wasn't in the space that he is now, like mentally. Forget the physicalities here. We're talking about the mental thing. Anthony Joshua is that type of guy that he's now with Ben Davison and it's just clicked. Like when he boxed Usyk the first time, he didn't have a plan B. There was no plan B there. He's a different guy now, a different character now than what he was when he boxed Usyk the first time, and even the second time as well.
So by your logic, you're both expecting to see, and I'm asking the question, not
we'll probably get a lot.
That's right, Dan. Go on.
Yeah.
Do you think that we're going to see Anthony Joshua then as the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world?
Yes.
You do?
Yes.
Fantastic. Anthony Joshua's got a very bright future.
I also had this conversation with you when you said, do you think Anthony Joshua will become a 3-time world heavyweight champion? I said yes, and you laughed at me then, the same way that you just laughed at me about the undisputed.
Yeah, but both
of my things are going to come true.
With respect, I wasn't in a minority. I was in a majority.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter.
And including him as well.
That doesn't matter.
And I didn't envisage that we would see the diminishing of Fury that we have done.
I told you the changing of the heavyweight, the landscape of the heavyweight.
We will see, and if he is, then given the fact he's been the poster boy of heavyweight boxing for some time, given the fact he'll have fought himself back from what most people have said was a write-off of him, given the fact the expectation of Anthony Joshua is so much more significant than it is in everybody else, then he will have deserved everything he gets.
Do you believe he could become undisputed world heavyweight champion?
I don't know. Because
you can't sit on the fence.
I tell you what. I'll tell you when
you get splinters.
No. It's not sitting on the fence. I'm asking the question candidly. I don't know. I want to see what he does to Dubois.
No.
Hold on. He's got to get. First of all, he's got to win his heavyweight title back to be in that conversation. So if he beats Dubois,
but I'm saying right now, do you feel that he's?
I don't know because judging upon the last.
I do know that he will become undisputed.
No, you think you know. No one knows until it happens, right?
Yeah, but you got to give.
You don't know.
What's your opinion then?
My opinion is that I will base it upon what happens when he fights
No,
Dubois.
you're still sitting on the fence.
No, because I'm not going to base it upon Ngannou. I'm not going to base
No
it
one's
upon
asking
Wallin.
you to. They're asking you to give your opinion on where
No, but
you're
Spencer,
at.
you are regularly lecturing me about you can only judge somebody upon their... You take somebody
On
their
the
last
last
performances. Right, so I'm not taking anything from Ngannou.
Why?
Because he should be Ngannou. He's an MMA fighter.
Yeah,
it's an embarrassment to Fury.
It's the manner that he's done it. You look at what he's doing.
Fantastic. But when he fights Daniel Dubois, and he does to Daniel Dubois, which you guys think he will, and that happens, I'm going to sit there and go, do I think that given all of the currency that Derek Chisora has given Usyk about the level that he fights at, the depths he's prepared to go to, and the quality of this fighter, and people advocating for a generational great in Usyk, and a lot of people steering towards Fury for that fight, and Usyk upturning the apple cart and everyone's opinions, I wouldn't back
Would you
past
apologise
Usyk.
to Anthony Joshua if he does it then?
What, for having an opinion?
Well, but your opinion at the moment is non-existent because you're not giving one.
No, my opinion is that a year ago, for what it's worth, I thought, like a lot of people did, that the fire had gone out. Right? I now can see that given the fights he's had, he's back in a far better mental condition and ready to go. If he demolishes Dubois, it makes the argument even more compelling that you're making. But it still doesn't come across the Rubicon of saying, can he beat Usyk? You think Usyk, the sun shines out of Usyk's arse.
Yeah, but he still thinks Joshua can beat him.
And I've taken that point. And I'm not arguing against it. I'm just not answering your question, which is, at this moment in time,
But I answer
don't
your
know.
questions.
Well, more for you then. Right? More for you then. Anyway, right. That's it for episode 86 of Talk Boxing. Thanks to Anthony Joshua's PR team over here with Derek Chisora and Spencer Oliver. And next time...
Listen, just apologise when it happens.
I don't think I've got anything to apologise for, because I've never said Anthony Joshua was a bad person or he's ugly.
No, I'm
or
not
he's
saying that. I'm just saying
lacking
that the lack of self-belief you've got in him.
By the way, you're a Trump supporter?
Yes, I am. And Nigel Farage supporter
Yeah.
reform.
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah, I know
am.
you are. I know you are.
Yes,
I know,
yes.
So you must be sitting in this week, busily on Thursday evening, waiting for the debate with Kamala Harris.
Yes, I am.
Kamala Harris.
I'm waiting. I'm just waiting and rubbing my hands. I can't wait.
Well, you know, I know Nigel very well, don't you?
Yeah, I know.
I like Nigel, and so my Michelle stood for him on a party. So
You still
I like
do
him.
lunch?
With Nigel and me and Derek.
I'll come.
I can tell you one person who wouldn't be paying for it.
Yeah, Derek Chisora.
Right, that's it. We're gone. See you next time we're out.